Let's see, alimony paid, that's if you're paying somebody else's alimony. Student loan interest deduction, that's a great one that you actually might use if you're going to college, okay? So you do get a deduction for you paying back any student loan interest. So once you, who's planning to go to a 2-year or a 4-year college? Okay, so if you're planning to do that and not maybe go straight into an apprenticeship or something like that, and you plan on getting possibly like a loan to do this, right? You do not, it won't affect your income at all while you're, because usually you don't pay back your loan while you're in college, but as soon as you leave college, you start paying back that loan. And then you don't pay any tax on any of the interest you pay. And you pay interest first. So like as you're paying, like you'll get a statement from the bank that'll say, hey, you paid off this much of your original amount and this much interest on your loan. And it'll be like, you paid $600 in interest, and that's the point where you'd say, oh, subtract $600 because I don't have to pay taxes on that. You don't get taxed on jury duty pay. Basically, none of this stuff is going to affect you, so we're going to move on. So go ahead and close Schedule 1. Okay. Subtract line, I'm on line 11 now. It says subtract line 10 from line 0 or line 9. This is your adjusted gross income. That means we had no deductions. So now I'm still at $48,563.14. I, as an educator, would have subtracted my $250 since I am in a relationship with Bo, my husband. We would have subtracted any of his student loan interest because he's still paying off his student loans. I'm done with that. Okay, so now we have our standard deduction or an itemized deduction, and here's the difference between the two. I want to say that that's on your sheet. Yeah. Why don't we get this out right now? Get out your note sheet. Does anybody remember, I think we talked about this briefly yesterday, does anybody remember what a standard deduction or itemized deduction is? When you would use it?
Isn't a standard deduction like just like from your cost of living?
Yep.
So,
And what's an itemized deduction?
isn't that more for like businesses?
Right. So everybody look here. Look at this little kind of like box here. It says, if you are single or married, filing separately, your standard deduction is $12,550. If you are married, filing jointly, or a qualifying widower, your amount is $25,100. Now, what does that mean? Why do you think one is $25,100 and one is $12,550? Can anybody figure that out quick? Sawyer?
Is it because there's
Two
two people?
people. And qualifying widower means that your spouse died this year. And so you still get basically the benefits of having two people in your household. Head of household gets to subtract a little bit more. That's their cost of living, $18,800, because remember, a head of household is the person who's like in charge of a whole family, not necessarily married, but in charge of a whole family or a group of people, and their costs are going to be a little bit more than everybody else. So the standard deduction is right now, as of 2021, and this changes every year, it is $12,550. This is basically a cost of living, and if you make, it gets subtracted from your taxable income. you don't have to pay taxes on the first $12,550 in 2021. I mean, different years have different amounts. It's slowly going up over the years. Why do you think it's slowly going up? Sawyer? Inflation, and not just inflation, like sure, the dollar, it has more, like, less value now than it used to, but also prices of things are just generally going up, right? And not even with like the dollar changing. Gas is more expensive, and not necessarily just temporarily, wood is more expensive. There's a lot of things that are more expensive now, and that's why our cost of living is going up. Itemized deduction is usually when you think your cost of living is greater than $12,550. This means you have to like list everything separately. Usually businesses will do this. Or if you are like you're just a person who has some sort of business in that sense. Like you own your own farm, that kind of thing. That's your livelihood. There are worksheets you can fill out online and worksheets you can fill out with computer software where if you wanted to give it a shot and say, I think I might be itemized this year, they'll be like, great. How much did you spend on this? How much did you spend on this? What items did you buy for your business? And it'll calculate pretty quickly if you are over that $12,550. Did you have a question? Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that the cost of living also keeps going up, but like the size and like, effectiveness of products keeps going down.
All right, let's fill in a couple of these definitions we've missed in the past few days. Do you guys remember what a tax rate schedule is? This is a table that gives you the formula for calculating how much tax is due. Remember when we had that worksheet where you had to